Hey fam, hey, welcome back to my channel. We are here again this week for Sister Wives, season 18, episode 7. Y'all, this season is kind of flying by and it looks like they're projected to have about 17 episodes. So we are just about at the halfway point. But man, there has been a lot that has happened, and I guess we all knew that it was coming because this was the season that Christine left. We're now seeing that Janelle is gearing up to leave. At least we know what happens in the end. They're still kind of in that deciding phase, but it says that, obviously next week she tends to want to tell Christine that she wants something new. And then, of course, we see that Meri has decided she's going to move her clothing business up to the Airbnb. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. But before, we do that, as always, we got to hear the jingle. But before we go to the jingle, I want to say welcome back or welcome to my channel. I am not sure how you got here, but that's awesome that you are. Please come on, take a seat outside because we can't go in the house. And I'll see you back here after the jingle. All right, y'all. So when we start at part 1, there's this really upbeat kind of party music going on. I was like, uh-oh, what we about to see? A rave? Are we about to see Square Jaw and Angry Spice out at that bar that they were at? Nope, that wasn't it. It was just some transition music, and they are talking about a Valentine's Day painting party that Christine is holding with her daughters. I think that's awesome. I think that the fact that they got together, they're talking about that she's going to be dating again. We'll get to that in a minute. The one thing that I did want to point out, though, is that the painting that they ended up with at the end, didn't Meri paint that same thing a few seasons ago back in Vegas? Check out the picture. Tell me below in the comments if it looked like that to you. All right, so we talk about how Valentine's Day is really not a great holiday for a polygamist family. Why? Well, because the husband's going to come in and hand you flowers and you flowers and you flowers and you flowers and more flowers depending on how many wives this man has. Of course, then Robin has to come in and mansplain how hard it is. It's just like, it's crap hard. That's her great explanation for how this works. Of course, they're talking about what they're going to do for Valentine's Day. And Meri says, I'm not doing a damn thing. I'm going to be chilling. You got to have a Valentine in order to have a Valentine's Day. Christine makes the comment about how, Kody would come in and he would hand you your Valentine's Day flowers or whatever the gift was, like right there in front of everybody, So she kind of didn't like that. I don't know if she made it known or not, but she thought, well, he must be okay now because he's only got Robin. And then she stops and says, ooh, that was kind of snarky. You know what, Christine? It was kind of snarky, but we liked it. It's okay. Christine says that she's seeing a matchmaker and her daughters go, like a real matchmaker, like the one for famous people? And she's like, yes, a real matchmaker. She wants that person, whoever she meets, to be everything that Kody was not. I love that because honestly, why would you want anything that Angry Spice was? Of course, we flip into the future in our minds and we see who she ends up with. Now, I don't know if that was a matchmaker or if she met him online. I want to say that she met David Woolley online. Let me just stop right here and say that we have some people move into our neighborhood that have these really loud dogs. One of them, I think, is probably going through the change or something, but I need him to be quiet. And it's always at those moments when I'm trying to do what I need to do that they start making noise. Maybe they heard me because he's quiet now. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back into it. So she talks about how she's going to see this matchmaker, and she wanted to tell that matchmaker everything about what was going on with her family. She told him about all the kids, about the marriage, about the divorce, and the matchmaker was like, girl, slow down. He don't need to know all that. All he needs to know is that you were married, you are single now, and you have some kids. He don't need to know everything about your life. It's just a date. It's just a date. Got it? Okay. Now, the one thing that I like that she talks about is this thing about Kody not ever being attracted to her. And she said, the reason that I wanted to leave was because I did not want to stay in a marriage where my children would see that I was staying with a man who wasn't attracted to me and think that that's okay. That is probably the most profound thing that I've heard Christine say about why she left. We did a lot of guessing and we could see the reasons that she left. We could see that he wasn't treating her well. She told us that he did not want to have an intimate marriage or partnership with her. She saw the favoritism. But I have to give her props, and any woman props, for thinking about what a marriage looks like to the children when it is not going well. I think sometimes people think marriage is not something children understand, so they continue to play the game and wear the mask. Children know. Children know, and they can see, and they can reason with a lot more than we give them credit for. So I like that she decided, if you're not attracted to me, I'm not going to stay here and allow you to use me to make my children believe that this kind of life is okay. I love that. So after the commercial break, Janelle has set up a meeting with Kody at the same restaurant. I think that someone said, another either YouTuber or podcaster said that they feel like this is the restaurant that would give them the okay, the license to film. So that's where they go. She hasn't seen him since Christmas. And she's just sitting and saying, listen, these are the things that I want in my relationship if I am to stay with this man. She's not asking for much. She wants better treatment, fair treatment, spend time with me. You've got to be a husband to me. Not asking for much. We jump to the Meri B&B where she's with her bestie extraordinaire. Wow. I'm just going to leave that alone because I've heard people make a lot of assumptions about this friendship. I do have to say that I do think that it is just a friendship. I think that Meri is going to reach out and be with anyone right now who's going to give her happiness and joy and whatever else she needs in this moment. So I'm just going to give Jen that. She's your friend. She's your B&B bestie, right? She then shows Jen a pillow that a guest left for her that stayed at the B&B, and it was a pillow with a picture of her and her mother. What a wonderful gesture. I have to say, her mother loved being at the B&B. She loved running it. So for that guest to think ahead and get that made, what a wonderful gift to live. She leave. She then sits and talks with Jen and says, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and tell Robin what my plans are. And she's probably going to be the only person who cares that I'm leaving, because we know that, Angry Spice has the ick when it comes to Meri. And he even kind of makes a comment about her later that is just mean, simply because, you can be an a-hole, but when you know that someone's going to see what you say, you haven't cared up until this point, but really, now you're just being completely mean. You're just being you're being evil at this point. I have a question for the TLC peoples. Why didn't Jen get some couch time? Cartman did. Nathan did. He got couch time and he was only on one episode. And we've seen Jen on a few episodes at the B&B. We've seen her on TikTok, Instagram. Why didn't Jen get some couch time? Jen, you better call TLC and see if they can give you some couch time, because make sure they run you your money, right? Now, they tried to be funny and say that, they met because Meri hired her to murder someone, and that's what she did for her, and that's how they became friends. All it turned out to be was that Jen was either working for or owned a pest control company. They used their company, and Jen and Meri became friends. So again, question, ding, ding, question. If you owned a pest control company in Las Vegas, you gave that up to come to Utah and run a B&B. Everybody has their thing. If you like it, I love it. Meri tells us that Jen was around for the catfishing. Jen was around when she started having problems in her marriage. Jen was around when she signed the divorce paper for Scary Spice or Angry Spice and Square Jaw to get married. So all in all, Jen has been around a long time. They decide they're going to go out to the back and check the carriage house because that is where she will indeed be moving the clothing business when she moves it from Flagstaff up to the B&B. In talking about going ahead and telling Robin about this, she says, it's really going to be difficult probably to get all that stuff up there. We're going to have to go in and see what's in there and, take it out and what have you. Child, when they open that door to that carriage house, I think she has some of my stuff in there. I really do. Janelle is in her meeting with Angry Spice, but she says that she hasn't really missed him. And when he comes in, he walks over to the table, she's sitting down, and, he goes, "Oh, you're going to give me a hug?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay, I guess so." Like, she barely wants to hug him. Really, you haven't seen me since Christmas. You haven't called to talk to me, but you want me to hug you. The awkwardness was so thick, you could cut it with a knife, but I totally understand that. He pretty much half apologizes for the big fight that they had. He says, "I'm just reeling from this divorce and it's causing me to be mean and treat people badly. And it just doesn't make me a safe space for you to have a conversation." You think? So, of course, he needs to pull the word gaslighting out of his back pocket again. She did not gaslight you, Kody. If anyone in the situation was gaslighting, it was you. I really feel like Kody needs to look up the definition of gaslighting and use it appropriately. How about we go ahead and we look up that definition right now so that basically if he were to watch this video, he would be able to get an understanding. So basically, to gaslight someone means to manipulate another person into doubting their own perceptions, experiences, or understanding of events. So no, Kody, she was not gaslighting you. You were gaslighting her by telling her you did not ask for an apology from your sons, about how you are the one who gave them the COVID rules way before you really did give them the COVID rules. I really feel like people forget that videotape, or I'm really aging myself, that tape or video streaming, all of those things, they last forever. We have watched it on TV. We YouTubers, bloggers, vloggers, we have documented it in our content. So you cannot say it didn't happen because the world has seen it. He says that he's really morphing his grief into anger, right? So Janelle lets him go ahead and go on about that because, of course, he starts to talk about Christine. And she says, after a lot of silence, I think I do want to stay separated. I think I do. And Kody, of course, says, well, we've been separated about 2 or 3 times. And if you do go back and read their book, she talks about the time that she separated from him and stayed in the state that they were in. But she's talked about it on the show as well. But he said, I thought it was because she couldn't get along with her sister wives. I didn't think it had anything to do with me. This statement is not surprising because he is, as we've all discovered, a narcissist. Why would he ever think that it had anything to do with him, right? He's surprised that she wants to be separated. Why, Kody? Because you think that all these women were just sit around and pant after you. Oh, that's right. You do, because you told Suki in your one-on-one that they all were panting like dogs to become a part of the family. So you think that because they may have done that however many years ago, that they are still the same women that you married, that they're still sitting around and thinking that you're this god of gods and that they should just all want you no matter how you treat them. If that don't say narcissist, dude, whatever. So she said, we could do counseling. I think that we should probably do counseling. I do have some affection for you, but yeah, some counseling would be good. He says, well, at least that would be fair because, Christine, she just dropped the bomb on me. She just didn't want to do anything and she just left. Oh, stop. Why are you talking about Christine? You are sitting across from a wife who is still here, who is willing to come and talk to you about the possibility, the slight possibility of reconciling with you if you do some counseling and all you can talk about is Christine. So, of course, Janelle says, I don't know why he's acting like he didn't see this coming. He was telling me that he wasn't attracted to Christine. And Janelle says, honestly, I would have left his a long time ago had he said that to me. So then, of course, she talks about how he has not called and spoken to Savannah in 6 weeks. Finally, justice for Savannah. Thank you for finally calling him out on this, Janelle, because I swear, I was getting a little upset with you because nobody was going to the defense for Savannah. Savannah has done nothing. Savannah has grown up in this family. She's been very quiet. She's like going to college. She's getting her schooling done, and he does not call her. And finally, someone has called him out. Thank goodness it was her mother, because that's really who should have done it. Even though you're all her mother, you know, it really does fall at your feet. And I'm glad that you finally did it. You know, he says, well, she doesn't want to be with me because I'm a good husband or whatever. You know, he's like, she thinks that I'm great. I have a 6-pack of abs. I have great pecs. I'm a ladies' man. Whew. Okay. First of all, I'm going to need you to show me that you're hot. I'm going to need you to show me your 6-pack, because I'm looking at you on TV and 6-pack, I do not see your pecs. I don't know nothing about your pecs. And I don't want to know nothing about your pecs. I don't even want to talk about it no more. I had a visceral reaction to that. Like, bleh, like really? Like, okay, you really just said that. That's why she wants to be with you. Okay. So then we talk about how, of course, again, that, you know, he told her that the boys had to apologize. And of course, you know, Square Jog's like, I didn't want an apology. I didn't ask for one. And actually, I'm not okay with the fact that he asked for one for me. And the award goes to... You know that man was out there asking for an apology for you. And I'm going to tell you, you know what? Because when we watched season 17, every episode, you were sitting around the fire pit. You were sitting around in some benches. You had some chairs pulled up around something else, a log or something. And every time there was a conversation, Janelle always said, you told my boys they had to apologize to you and or Robin. So even if you want to sit here and make like he didn't tell you that he wasn't expecting an apology from those boys for you, it's been said. So you mean to tell me that you didn't go home and say, are you asking the boys to apologize to me? Because that's not what I want. Because I guarantee had you said that to him, he probably wouldn't be asking for an apology, because what you say, he does. You pull the strings, he dances. Child, my blood pressure's up. My Apple Watch is saying that my heart rate's too high. Let's move on. Angry Spice learned a new word this week. He learned the word transmute. Did anybody catch that? I swear that man is like a regular thesaurus. He must have got a thesaurus for Christmas. I'm thinking maybe that was one of his gifts, because he is pulling out gaslighting. He's pulling out transmute. I'm like, wow, Kody, do you know what transmute means? You sure? Are you sure you used it in the right? Okay, let's see. Because think back to what he was talking about, right? He says that he thinks that something's being transmuted. It says the raw material of his experience was transmuted into stories. So that means to change, to alter, to adapt, to modify. So basically you're saying that they're making things up, but you wanted to use your $1 million word for this episode. Okay, that's good. Okay. So then she asks, Janelle says, well, do you want a plural family? Because I can't tell. And he sits with his head down towards the table. Now, where I come from, that body language says, I'm thinking, I'm grasping, which means you don't know. Because if you wanted it, you could say, of course I do. I am not the one. You could even go back into your narcissist act. I am not the one who blew the family up or tore the family apart, but I want plural marriage. That you didn't say. We go back up to the Airbnb, and she is in the carriage house and looking at all the stuff that she's now going to have to throw out. She says that there's really no reason for her to be in Flagstaff anymore, so why be there when she can be closer to working in the B&B, closer to hanging out with her friend Jen, of course. But the only reason that she would be in Flagstaff is to heal her marriage. It's not going to happen, so please.
Oh, girl.
Stop saying it. She then talks about all the businesses that they've had over the years, and we see kind of a flashback of all those businesses. She feels that the reason why the businesses did not work is because there was not somebody solely in charge. And then, of course, we have Square Jaw talking about how she wanted to do My Sister Wives Closet with her sister wives because she wanted the same thing that they all had by being together for so long. So basically, she was trying to manufacture friendships with My Sister Wives Closet. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. Back at Tex-Mex, the restaurant, she starts talking about how there was favoritism, that he wasn't treating her kids like the younger kids. He only looked at for the babies and protecting the babies and whatever. He starts to explain that when you are little, you always get the most. And as you grow up, you don't need him as much, so he doesn't give you as much. That is the most bass-ackwards thing I have ever heard. Your children are always your children, 24/7, 365 till the end of your life. Those are your children. Sometimes children need you more as adults than they do as little babies. Little babies need you to feed them, to clothe them, to teach them to walk. But they don't have the problems that come along with growing up. So sometimes you just need to talk to your dad as a man. If you're a man, I need to talk to my dad as a daughter about the adult things that I'm now having to deal with. So that's a bunch of malarkey. You just wanted to be with Robin and her kids, which are your kids. You always call them our kids, but everybody else you call Janelle's kids, Christine's kids. That's how you work. He says that he wishes everyone saw the value in Saul and Eri. No, what you want is for everyone to see them how you do, which are as the little prince and princess. You want them to bow down to your favorite wife and her offspring. Simple as that. He then says that, Janelle doesn't want a relationship with Robin, and she doesn't want to reconcile with Meri. And he pretty much makes this face like, oh, well, I don't really either because we can't reconcile, And that's what I was talking about just saying things that are so mean that she's going to say, right? Well, and no, why would she want to reconcile or have a friendship with Robin? I think that pretty much everyone besides Meri, as far as the wives, Christine and Janelle, don't trust Robin and have said so. There are things that she's done that just don't make her trustworthy. And so, no, they don't want to have a relationship or a friendship with you. The conversation continues, and he asks her about, or she says that she's talking about how I thought about when you left that I had nothing. I had no property, no inheritance, no nothing. And so then he spins that on her. He becomes the spin doctor in his head. And I saw it happen. Like I felt like I saw a click happen and I watched the spin take place. And now he's looking at her going, oh, so I was just a financier for you. I was about the resources, the money. No, that's not what she's saying. She is saying that she trusted in what you sold her. She trusted what her husband said. She thought that you were actually going to make this dream of Coyote Pass come to fruition. And because she trusted you, she's now in a position where she got bamboozled and she has nothing. That's what she means. This man is like the Michael Phelps of swimming away from taking responsibility for anything. We are still talking about Christine when we come back from the last commercial break because he is rolling that around in his head. He can't even be present in the moment with Janelle. Janelle, I'm so glad you've left him. At least now, in this time, we know that you have left him and moved on. And thank goodness, because he was not there. He was not there. And all the times that you asked him if he wanted a plural marriage, he couldn't say no on TV because you all have a show that you're trying to do. And if he were to say, no, I don't want plural marriage, well, then there would be no more Sister Wives because there are literally no Sister Wives. Okay. So then he talks about this great couple of years that they had in Las Vegas. And I'm proud of Janelle also for saying, yeah, well, those great couple of years don't fix or forgive what is going on right now. People change, things change. So I can be great on Monday and I could really dislike you on Friday. That's just how life goes. She does say that she misses him in every way. I miss him at my home. I miss him in my bed. I miss him being around, but I also want to be treated better. And I deserve better. So I can miss you, but I'm going to miss you over there because I'm not going to take being verbally or emotionally or whatever scarred by the choices that you are making in your life. She says that on a desert island, they would be completely great. They would be great, but just not in real life. They're not. Right. And so, of course, she says, I mentioned counseling, but if he doesn't want it, then I'm not going to sit here and wait for him to decide that he wants it. He don't want it, girl. He don't want it. Janelle, stop fighting for that. I can say that right now. And I guess I can say I'm glad that you stopped fighting for it because you're right. There is something better out there for you. And I really hope that you find it. Whatever that better is, if it's just being able to be alone, be independent, and live your life, live your best life, great. If it is that you find someone who will love you and be everything you need him to be, and you find the same kind of love and freedom and independence that Christine has, great also. We just want you to be happy. We're glad that you're taking the leap to do that. And I hope you get everything out of this that you should get out of it and that you deserve out of it. Whew, child, season 18 is a doozy. I hope that you have enjoyed this content. Please do not forget to share with your friends. Go ahead, share with your friends because sharing is caring. That's all I got for tonight. But remember, if there's anything you want to do, please go out and do it because there's enough room for everybody. Okay? All right, y'all. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.